Skill 9. How to actually connect with people without feeling like a fraud or a glitchy NPC. You're not bad at socializing. You're just exhausted from pretending to be liked by everyone. Let's be real. Making friends as a kid? Easy. You liked Red Power Rangers. They liked Red Power Rangers. Bam, besties. But now, it feels like networking with FBI-level emotional surveillance. Do they like me? Am I being too much? Why did I say you too when they said happy birthday? Here's the thing. You don't suck at connecting. You've just been busy auditioning for approval instead of showing up as a real, chaotic human. Because deep down, you don't want 100 nice acquaintances. You want 3 people who would help hide a body and still roast your haircut. This is the skill of real connection. Vulnerability that doesn't feel like a TED Talk. Listening without secretly rehearsing your next line. Feeling seen without needing to be perfect. In tips 1 to 2, we'll break down why your social battery hates you and how to start conversations that don't feel like a networking hostage situation. Let's unrobot your relationships. Ready? Tip 1. Your brain loves a good lie, especially if it feels right. Here's the deal. Your brain? It's not built to find truth. It's built to find comfort. So if a fact makes you feel good, your brain goes, yeah, that sounds legit. Let's believe it forever. This is called confirmation bias, and it's why you can Google "is coffee good for me?" and find 4,000 scientific studies confirming your addiction. Want to think clearly? Start assuming your first thought is probably lazy, emotional, or just hungry. Ask yourself, am I believing this because it's true, or because it lets me keep doing what I was already doing? Would I still agree with this if it made me look bad? You don't need to be a skeptic. Just be a curious little gremlin who double-checks everything, including your own BS. Because your brain doesn't care if it's right. It cares if it feels comfy. Tip 2. If it's simple and outrage-inducing, it's probably garbage. Hot take. Most internet arguments could be solved if people understood one thing. Reality is complex. Manipulation is simple. If a headline makes you angry in under 2 seconds, it's probably designed to do just that. If a solution to a global issue fits in a meme, it's probably dumb. Your critical thinking job? Add friction. Slow down. Ask, what's the other side of this? Who benefits from me believing this? If the answer is a dude selling supplements or a conspiracy YouTuber with 12 cats, maybe pause. Because real intelligence isn't about knowing more. It's about resisting the urge to immediately scream. This is obviously true. Tip 3. Stop trying to be interesting. Start getting interested. You ever meet someone who's trying way too hard to be cool? They're talking about cryptocurrency, skydiving, 14 books they haven't read. Their whole personality feels like a LinkedIn post in a human suit. That's because being interesting isn't a personality trait. It's a side effect. People don't connect to interesting. They connect to curiosity. You want to be magnetic? Get obsessed with other people's weird little worlds. Ask, what's something super dumb you're oddly passionate about? What conspiracy theory do you want to be real? If your brain were a place, what would it look like? Suddenly you're not small talking. You're spelunking into their psyche. Bonus, curious people are remembered as interesting anyway. It's science. Or at least, extremely convincing social psychology. Tip 4. If you're not listening, you're just rehearsing with background noise. Real talk. Most of us aren't listening. We're just waiting for our turn to talk like anxious theater kids. Meanwhile, the other person's soul is leaking out, and we're like, cool, but did I tell you about my podcast? Here's the cheat code. Echo plus curiosity. When someone talks, try this. 1. Echo a word or phrase they used. Wait, did you say emotionally allergic to meetings? 2. Dig 1 level deeper. How does that even happen? Boom. Suddenly they feel seen. And you feel like a mind-reading wizard. The best conversationalists aren't the most talkative. They're the ones who make people feel like main characters in their own stories. So stop multitasking. Start mind-tasking. And remember, if you're always the loudest voice in the room, you're probably the loneliest one too. Tip 5. Ditch the weather talk. Ask better, weirder questions. Small talk is fine, but you're not here to bond over humidity. You want connection? Ask questions that reveal the texture of someone's mind. Try these. What was your last brain spiral about? If your anxiety had a job title, what would it be? When's the last time you did something weird on purpose? They'll pause. They'll laugh. They might panic for a second, but then they'll answer. Why? Because no one ever asks them that stuff. And suddenly, you're not just someone they met. You're the person who made their brain light up. That's how connection works. Not by being normal, but by being safe enough for people to be weird with. Tip 6. Vulnerability without safety is just emotional streaking. Everyone says, be vulnerable. As if dropping your emotional pants in front of strangers is the key to friendship. Wrong. Vulnerability only works when it's safe. Otherwise, it's just trauma karaoke. So here's the rule. Test the pool before you dive. Start small. Admit something mildly weird. I've had 4 emotional support beverages today. Share a minor failure. I once bombed a presentation because I said orgasm instead of organism. Confess a harmless fear. I'm 90% sure pigeons are judging me. Then wait. If they lean in, you go deeper. If they recoil like you just confessed to eating drywall, pull back. Vulnerability is a conversation, not a confessional. You don't owe anyone your unfiltered soul. But when someone proves they can hold it gently, boom, that's your people. Tip 7. Learn to read people without turning into a mind-reading goblin. Want better connections? Observe. Don't interrogate. Most people broadcast everything, just not with words. They tell you through how long they hold eye contact, what makes them laugh or doesn't, when their voice goes flat like a sad tortilla. Instead of trying to guess their childhood trauma, just notice patterns. Do they light up when you joke? Do they shrink when you interrupt? Do they get louder when they're excited or quieter? You're not here to be a human lie detector. You're here to listen with your whole face. Because the more someone feels understood without explaining themselves, the faster they trust you. That's the cheat code. Don't force connection. Perceive it, like a wizard, with anxiety, and a decent espresso. Underscore, 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 underscore. Tip 8. Don't match energy, match intent. Ever walk away from a conversation feeling like you got emotionally hit by a bus? That's because you tried to match someone's energy, instead of checking their intent. Here's the difference. Someone's energy might be chaotic, intense, jokey, or flat, but their intent is what matters. Are they trying to connect, avoid, perform, or dominate? So instead of shape-shifting to fit the vibe, ask, what's this person trying to do here? If they want connection, meet them there. If they want attention, let them have their monologue. If they want validation, nod, support, bounce. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You just have to be intentional. Because real connection isn't vibing. It's choosing who and how you show up, without turning into a social chameleon with identity whiplash. Tip 9. Learn to say the quiet compliments out loud. Want to melt someone's brain in 3 seconds? Compliment the thing they don't even know is lovable. Don't just say, you're smart. Say, the way you explained that made me want to learn it. Don't just say, you're funny. Say, you make awkward silences feel like performance art. Here's why it works. Most people are starving for specific affirmation. Not likes, not fire emojis, but proof that someone actually noticed them being them. And when you give that, you stop being another nice person. You become the person who saw them. It's terrifying. It's powerful. And it will make people think about you months after the conversation ends. Compliment like a sniper. Aim for the soul. Then walk away like it's no big deal. Because connection is created in the details. Tip 10. Don't try to be liked. Be recognizable. This is the final boss. Most people spend their whole lives trying to be likable, polished, safe, neutral. The problem? Neutral people are forgettable. The ones we connect with, the ones we trust, are the ones we can recognize instantly. The friend who always overshares on day one, we love them. The coworker who says exactly what you were thinking but scared to say, iconic. The chaos gremlin who shows up late but brings snacks and radical honesty, irreplaceable. Stop editing yourself to fit the group chat. Start being the kind of person who's so you that people feel like they know you after 3 minutes. Not because you're loud, but because you're unmistakable. And yeah, some people won't like it, but the right ones, they'll never forget it. Finale. You don't need 100 friends. You just need 3 who see you in HD. You're not bad at people. You're just done with shallow, with pretending, with being a high-functioning NPC in social situations. Connection isn't about being smooth. It's about being real, messy, curious, hilarious, awkward, and letting the right people see it. You don't have to impress. You just have to show up. And let the weirdos find you. So here's the final rule. Be the kind of person you wish you'd met sooner. Then go out there and connect like a gremlin philosopher with snacks. Subscribe if you're tired of fake vibes, allergic to small talk, and ready to build connections that don't feel like networking with a smile filter. Next up, Skill 10. How to stay calm when everything feels like it's on fire. And not just metaphorically. We're talking full emotional barbecue.